Welcome back, everybody, to Yep, We're Related. We have
Stacy.
two people you've seen before already, but I know I have a hole in my sweatpants. It's from. Don't freaking pull on it! Stop! These are my sweatpants.
What's the white stuff?
That's from the couch. Anyways, welcome back.
Yep, we're related.
We are here with my mom and Cheeks, because she doesn't have another name.
Right.
I got no. I lost all of it on the other episodes. I'm too tired.
What do you want to talk about?
Well,
What was it like growing up with Andy and Marcus?
yeah, that's a good
That's
question.
a whole podcast for itself.
Exactly. Here we go.
Let's get
Okay.
rolling.
I don't know.
You don't know?
What else? What is there to say? How do you wrap it up? That's good. They did their own thing a lot, and then there was
they did their own fighting in their own room.
yes, they always shared a room, so there was always drama and fighting, hospital visits with that. And then that's that.
Really? You just said it'd be a whole podcast in just
Well,
5
I mean,
seconds.
there's how many fights did we talk
Right.
about?
Just have to get into
The worst
specific
one. What was
story.
the worst fight you've ever seen them do? Somebody turned their phone off.
Quiet on set.
I do remember one time they were fighting in their bedroom, and they had bunk beds, and then Andy fell and split his head open, and then there was this just blood gushing all over. And I think my dad was at the fire hall, my mom was home with us or something, because then your dad had to come over, or somebody came over, because then we were home. And I just remember my mom running around, and Andy just bleeding all over the place off the windowsill.
Say what?
So was she running around like a chicken with her head cut off?
Yeah. Kid was bleeding. She probably was
Yeah.
just yelling at Marcus. I was just sitting in the living room watching Disney.
Yeah.
What up, Hank?
Yeah.
So, what was it like growing up with Uncle?
Uncle?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, typical sibling relationship, I think. We get along sometimes and not others. I know Uncle would always be pissed off because I never had to mow the lawn because of my allergies, but yet he never had to do the dishes. So I don't know what the big deal was.
He was allergic to the salt. Hey. Chili.
What?
I know.
There's dogs. They're distracting me.
They're adorable.
They are cute.
Right.
Hey, stop.
I saw this stat the other day. Do you know what the leading cause of divorce is in all the world?
No.
Marriage.
What?
Marriage. 100% of divorces start in marriage.
That's true.
100% of the people that get divorces were married.
Oh.
It's a scientific fact.
Is it now?
I mean, that's true.
It's true. Just like, never mind, not gonna say it.
What was it growing up with your siblings?
Terrible. I hated every second of it.
Really?
No, it was good. I don't really have much complaints. I don't have memories of fighting with Hunter or Dylan. I only remember fights with Andrea because
Right.
by then
Who you're
Hunter and
close
Dylan
to.
were
Right.
a lot older than I was, so they were more mature, I guess.
How old were you when Hunter got his license?
I was still in middle school.
So, because wasn't he dropping you off at school?
Nope, I still rode the bus. Everybody else got to ride with him. I rode the bus.
You were in a separate school, and at that time,
The
school
times
times
were
were,
Yes.
were different.
Yeah.
How different were?
They're still different.
Well, yeah, but not that bad. Like I've had to drop Gabby off at school before.
But weren't they still separate bus runs or no?
Mm-mm.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was the same bus ride.
But it's because you were in separate schools. The rest were in the
High
same
school.
school.
So Marcus and Andy used to have to take me to school more. So I remember Andy taking me to school.
Marcus won't wake up, and he still won't wake up.
Okay, Marcus and Andy lived on the 3rd story. And Marcus, his alarm would be the stereo, surround stereo, all the way on blast. And my bedroom was below it. And he would not wake up to the stereo. I'd still have to go upstairs and like shake him.
So
that it was
basically, you guys
time.
almost close enough shared a room because to get to the 3rd floor, you have to walk through
Yeah.
your bedroom.
So yeah, sometimes I was there, but one time Andy had the Astro van and the tires were frozen to the driveway. And I remember having to get on the back of the van and jump as Andy was trying to back up. And I was late all the time, and it was always Andy's fault. And sometimes he would drop me off, like when you're driving into the middle school, and then I would have to like walk the loop because he was trying to get to school.
That reminds me of me when I was younger going to school, except I was always late because my father.
Yeah.
He still wouldn't be able to wake up.
I was a freshman when Jason was a senior, and my class was the first 9th grade class of the new high school.
Mm-hmm.
He never took me to school.
Yeah.
I still rode the bus.
Yeah,
That wasn't happening.
I didn't stop riding.
Yeah.
The first time I didn't ride the bus was 10th grade when Andrea got her license. Or was that 9th grade? I don't know.
You were in
When you got your license?
What'd you say?
Okay, so I was in 9th grade. Okay. But it was
could have gotten my license
Yeah.
in 10th grade.
but
Shit, I don't
from childhood I remember going into Hunter's room to play his PlayStation, and
the controller would be broken most
the
of the
controller would
time.
always be broken, and going into Andrea's room to annoy her, and she'd like force me to paint my nails or something stupid like that. Baloney.
Oh, I'm pretty sure if she tried, Dad yelled at her one time for
Yeah.
making you
Yeah,
paint your nails.
Yep. And he yelled at me too.
I remember
painting
going
my
into my
nails.
brother's room. Remember when we'd have to like record the radio onto a cassette tape?
Uh-huh.
So that was a big deal. They were recording music off the radio onto the cassette tape. And then one time they made me call the radio station and say something stupid, but I was too young to know that it was stupid.
Yeah.
Just so that they could call back and complain. Like that was their whole setup. They set me up so that they could call back and pretend like they were like these tough guys and that they were going to get something out of the radio station for doing this, but that didn't happen.
What the hell?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. I could see it too.
Yeah.
That's so
It
dumb.
sounds like Marcus.
Unbelievable. What were your childhood like with your siblings?
I hated it. Well, I was 9 years old when Gabby was born. So, I mean, I kind of had my own friends, had my own crap going on. But me and Maddie were like, I don't know. Things were good when
Yeah.
Maddie was born. And then things were good until she was about 2 years old.
Oh, stop
Then
it.
we started fighting.
Oh, stop.
We were friends, and then we became foe really fast.
You guys still are.
Yep. I don't even
You
know
guys
that kid
spent a
anymore.
lot of time together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
only reason we'd hang out together when we were in like elementary, middle school, is because we'd wake up and Maddie'd come in my room, and we'd be quiet and we'd play. Or actually, we never knew which room it was because we'd switch rooms pretty often.
A lot.
But so when Maddie was in the room across the hall from my parents' bedroom, we'd go in there in the morning. And then we'd just play and we'd be quiet, hopefully trying not to wake Dad up so we didn't go to school. And then he'd always wake up like 10 o'clock and then we'd be pissed because somehow it's our fault he doesn't wake up. And then, yeah. And then when it was my room, we'd go play like Legos. But I remember like playing with Barbies with Maddie and then ripping the heads off.
That is one thing
I did often.
Marcus and Andy love to rip the heads off my Barbies.
I believe they did mine too, because I remember my mom getting really mad at them.
Those things are expensive. They ruin all.
Yeah.
I would walk into my bedroom. I'd leave it perfectly set up. Go have some dinner. Come back. All the Barbies would be naked and headless. And just a disaster.
Well, back when you were a kid, could you at least put the heads back on the Barbies?
Yeah.
Because I remember with Maddie's, the
Nowadays,
heads were
they
like
snap
rubber.
off.
No, the heads were like rubber. They're like a stress ball almost. You just grab it and trim it off.
I'm pretty sure there was one of them that actually like it ripped, so it was.
Yeah,
It
there's a
wasn't
few times I ripped a leg
salvageable.
off just to really tick her off. We cut the hair on her doll.
Oh,
Andrea never
man.
really had Barbies.
She had Barbies.
On the topic of dolls, the dolls at Annie Lane's
Oh
house.
God, no. We're gonna get
The
cursed.
creepy.
How much
porcelain
did those
dolls.
scare the
Nana
shit out of
has
you?
dolls.
What are they, porcelain
They're
dolls?
not-
Yeah, they're
there
porcelain
anymore.
dolls.
But
Yeah.
she had like a collection of porcelain dolls that would just sit in her room, her old room, that was upstairs, and that's where all of the kids or the grandkids would sleep during a sleepover. We'd all go in that room. Some of them had red eyes.
Okay, those dolls were there when I was
Like,
sleeping over too,
big
so I know.
red eyes.
They had red eyes because the sun, where they sat in the room, the sun hit them or whatever and discolored.
No.
So-
Sure.
Cursed.
Whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Whatever the excuse Nana wants to say, those things are cursed.
Those are actually baby monitors, and she
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got cameras in them. I don't know where she got the tech from.
Yeah.
She's got freaking cameras in those things.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Well, Aunt Robin had them too.
Aunt Robin
Right?
collected, or collects, what do you call them things? Precious moments.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What?
I thought she had dolls
They're like
too.
little porcelain. She might have. I don't remember.
Yeah.
They're like little porcelain figurines, and they all like have a saying with them, or like you could buy like a teacher, or they're different things. I don't know.
Just collectibles.
Yeah, people used to collect things.
They were weird.
Weird. They were creepy.
Nana had Avon bottles when I was growing up. We had like a whole wall of Avon bottles. It was just shelves, dust collectors.
What, Avon bottles?
Yeah.
What are those?
So it's like perfume bottles, but
Oh.
they're all like different shapes. Like there was cars and
Oh, that's pretty cool. Those
birds
little
and
shapes.
deer and it was everything.
Yeah, those
There
aren't
was-
creepy. Like
No, but
porcelain
but
dolls.
why
But
collect it?
Why have them?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be a collector.
Why
He's
have so
already
much sex?
collecting.
I just collect.
Well, like
junk.
look at Papa. Papa collects fire,
Fire
trucks.
trucks.
There's like fire trucks everywhere.
That's true.
Shit, so does Grandpappy.
Yeah, they all do.
My God, the barn, you can't.
Well, their dad worked on. He
Right.
He
sold
sold fire
trucks.
trucks, and he was a founding member. I remember someone was talking about back when the shop was a Texaco. You get so many points. Because they get gas for all the
Uncle
time.
Dale's shop.
Yeah,
Okay.
back when that was a Texaco, they got like a fire truck thing.
Well, if you look
yeah,
at
it was
Uncle
like-
Dale collects all that, has
Yeah.
all
All
that
that
stuff.
Yeah,
stuff.
the
So-
hats, all that. Yeah, but like the hats, but like I remember them talking. It was like a ride-in, whatever, like fire truck, because you get points with every gallon of gas or whatever,
Mm.
and like you'd get stuff. And I remember him saying something about it, like something like that.
I feel like they all have their own
Shit.
things that they collect. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, no, Aunt Di's is just everything.
Just a
Yeah.
collector. She is just a collector of
If
all things.
it with anti, if it can be valuable, just go collect it.
Yeah.
And half the crap,
And like
I'm
let's see
surprised
regulates
she,
like
like, makes money on.
Christmas stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
she's talked about how many totes of Christmas things she has.
Yeah.
He has a lot.
Listen, my junk collection, I've minused by one item. Recent. The car's gone.
Oh, your junk collection?
Yeah, my scrapyard.
The car is gone.
Car's gone.
He
I
drove
still
it.
have that piece of shit jet ski sitting there. The motor's out of it. I got too much shit.
Yeah, you do. You gotta get rid of some stuff.
Like, what the? How am I going to get rid of it?
Junk.
I mean,
You tell me one thing to get rid
I
of.
try to clean out Ellie's stuff all the
You
time,
guys
but
don't
it just
touch-
keeps
No,
piling
no.
up.
That's sentimental
Kids'
value right
things
there,
just
buddy.
pile
That's
up.
Yeah,
gonna, that is
definitely
gonna get
do.
fixed.
I kept some of the kids' stuffs. Like, I have their Lincoln Logs and train.
Wait, what?
And-
Lincoln Logs?
Yeah, and I have Barbies. I still
yeah.
have my Barbie stuff that my mom kept, and I kept Andrea's Barbie stuff too. But and like the house I bring out for Ellie,
Yeah.
her little Fisher Price house, I
She
save
loves
that. But to me, like now that Easton's big enough, I can bring the Lincoln Logs out, you
Yeah.
know. So it's stuff like
I'll
that.
play
So I don't
with
have to
Easton with some
buy
Lincoln Logs.
everything again.
Right.
Really, they just play with the stuff I got.
You should have broken out them Lincoln Logs.
My mom, I think, saved every single thing of my like.
Your
she has
mom-
all my strawberry shortcake. She has
just
all
gave
Yeah.
me Grandma's Hope chest.
right.
That has all the scrapbook stuff in
Where
there.
even
Oh,
is that?
yeah.
Where did that go?
It's in the sunroom.
It is?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have been buried.
It hasn't gone anywhere. It's still in the sunroom.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
moved over a little bit.
Because
But
that's where we put it.
Yeah.
Me and Alex put it in the sunroom.
I gotta throw out more things to put that somewhere.
Yeah.
Throw in some more scrapbook stuff in there. You gonna start scrapbooking?
Gavin's senior year scrapbook will be made out of Annie Lane's
Yeah.
scrapbook stuff. Oh yeah.
There you go.
I'm not.
It's gonna
You
be
have fun,
looking
you have
good.
fun doing that.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Crafting. Like it goes from one thing to the next. I feel like I remember when my parents were into like painting ceramics.
Yeah.
And I mean obviously they're all so talented anyway with their own things because of our homemade gifts that they do and stuff, but the scrapbooking was a thing for a while.
Mhm.
I don't think that ever took off. I think my mom bought the stuff. I don't think she
There's
ever
a
completed
brand
a
new-
book. I
there's
don't think
brand
she
new
ever
packages in
completed
there.
a book. But like she's always knitted or
Yeah.
whatever. She's always made like the baby blankets and sewn and stuff like that. But
You always used to order books from like camping trips.
Oh yeah, like the online things
oh
that
yeah,
you could order.
those scrapbooking. Yeah, I would do that online. This is where you actually like cut out paper
Yeah.
and put it in there.
Newspapers.
Yeah, but
I mean, Cheeks has a scrapbook. Maddie made her,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maddie made me a
right?
scrapbook
The zoo
for
was
Christmas.
fun. Penis shape. Mike Gibbons.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was
That was good. That's good.
Just all it is.
The
is
only
the
quote.
zoo was fun. It's the only one I remember.
That's funny.
yeah. No, that was full.
That was the one where she asked everyone to like write quotes or
things,
write
yeah.
things to. Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
remember
write
that.
letters and
Yeah.
things.
Oh,
Yep.
shit. These batteries are dead.
Mine.
Oh,
Oh shit.
Mine's good.
Well,
Oh,
if you want to
yours is
end
blinking.
it, then
What are we at time wise?
Like 18 minutes.
that's good. That's fine.
All right.
What are we at?
That's good.
Are you gonna end
All right. Well, my mic's not working. Damn it.
at all?
We'll see you guys later.
Well,
We'll,
hasta lasagna.
we'll
This
catch up
was
with you guys on the next one. Hasta lasagna.
Yeah.
Hasta lasagna.